Welcome. What? I'm probably like 1 minute? No, I'm good. Welcome to the light room. Welcome to the light room. Check in with your green hearts. And let me know that you're here. Check in with your green hearts. It's Mental Health Monday. Listen. Check in. I'll talk to y'all when y'all get here. Check in with your green hearts. Check in. There she go. Check in with those green hearts. Let me know that you're here. Welcome. It's Monday. It's Mental Health Monday on the last February of Black History Month. Right? You know, I didn't see a lot of Black history conversation or posts or anything. Hey, mama. I didn't see a lot of Black history stuff this year. And I really don't know how to feel. And even about myself, right? For the culture, we cannot get away from it. We cannot let it slide by. We cannot let it pass by because, listen, things are happening. I would say right under our nose, but it's happening right in our face, right? And when we don't pay attention or when we let things slide, right? Then when we look up, we can be in some real big trouble, guys. So, you know, welcome to Mental Health Monday. I just want to say this is the last Monday in the celebrated Black History Month, but every day is Black History for us. 365 days of the year is Black History for us. I don't know. I just wish we would have put more into it this year. Somehow it was lacking, right? The school I had today, the kids were doing their research projects, their Black History projects. And I'm not in Mississippi or Tennessee anymore, so I don't see as many African American students as I'm used to, right? So it really was cool to see these kids doing these Black History projects. And it was also cool to see that they had some modern day heroes and modern day game changers that they could use for our Black History celebration. So I just want to, again, address that because even myself, right? I just didn't see enough Black History stuff this month in the social media space this year. I know we've been through a lot. I know we're tired, right? But we can't give up on us. We can't give up on us. And that's another reason that this space right here is so important. So important because if we don't fight for us, trust me, the whole ain't nobody coming to save you movement, that's a real movement, right? It's up to us to do what we have to do to take care of us. So that's why you're checking into the light room tonight, right? Welcome to Mental Health Monday. My guest is already here. So go ahead and, drop the green hearts. Let me know that you're here. Go ahead and fill up the room. Listen, if you're a Black man and you're in here, stay in here. Stay in here. If you're a Black man and you're in here, you have questions, put your questions in the comments, right? I'm Marquita Dorsey, mental health advocate and coach, right? This is a platform that was created a year ago, right? On the back of an unfortunate death by suicide. I wanted to create a safe space, a resourceful space, right, for the African American community. Then I moved to Texas. And so now it's a space for the Black and brown communities. And I know we haven't seen many brown yet, but trust me, they're coming. I've been meeting people in this space, in this area. Hey, Jamal, in this city where I live, and they're coming into the light room as well. So this is for all of us. And again, hey, classmate, if you're just checking in, welcome to the light room. I am Marquita Dorsey. Go ahead and share this live. Share it in your groups. Share it in your messengers. Share it on your Facebook page. Share it on your Instagram, your TikTok, your Snapchat. Listen, this is the last Monday in Black History Month, right? And I got a beautiful Black man that's going to come on tonight, and we're going to talk. Like, we'll have some real talk. And I know it's difficult for Black men especially to talk about how they feel, to talk about the challenges that they face in life, because they don't feel like they have a safe space. And to be honest, sometimes they don't. But there are men, healthy men, Black men, creating space for y'all. So go ahead, check in with your green hearts. Go ahead and share this live. Get your people on this live because you want to hear what this brother got to say, right? I done worked beside this brother at church, like teaching the kids Bible study. So I know his heart is pure, his heart is good, and the work that he's doing is going to change the nation. But share this live. Make sure you interact with us in the comments. When he says something that's fire, go ahead and drop the fire. Go ahead and give him a green heart. React to this post, whatever you need to do. I'm going to put my headphones in because I don't even want to get into the whole audio issues. I'm going to go ahead and be proactive. Give me a second. Give me a second. Yeah, I'm going to, because I know tonight is going to be good and I don't want no interruptions. All right. I'm going to go ahead and bring him in. So if you haven't already, go ahead and share the live. Go ahead and get your people in here. Listen, if you're a mother and you have a son, get them on, right? Let them be a part of the conversation. Another part of changing the game in our community as it relates to mental and emotional wellness, we got to stop having the conversations in the back room, right? We got to stop putting the kids in the back room talking about grown folks talking. When it comes to feelings, when it comes to emotions, when it comes to being able to have a healthy space, a healthy outlet, a safe space, we all need to be in the room, right? So I'm going to go ahead and bring Ray in. I'm absolutely excited to have him here. So go ahead, share the live. Let me find you, Ray, so I can invite you onto the live. All right. While we're doing that, again, make sure you share. Make sure you share the live. All right. Quita Dorsey, mental health advocate and coach. This is the Light Room, Mental Health Mondays. This happens bi-weekly at this point. Bi-weekly, every 2 Mondays, we're here in the Light Room, bringing you somebody who's equipped to do, there he is, equipped to do what they do in this space, equipped to serve, who have a heart to serve, because that's what this, space is about, having a heart. Not only a heart, right? Pastor Gerard says, some people are willing, but they're not able. And then you have some people that are able, but they're not willing, right? So when you come in this space, you got to be willing and able to serve the people of God from the heart of God, all right? So the bishop is here. Well, I'm glad you're saying hello, Bishop.
Not the bishop. Not the bishop.
All right. So the guest is here, y'all. He is here. Go ahead and share this live. Get your people on. This is the last Monday in the nationally celebrated Black History Month. You can't hear me or him. That's right. Let's get these audio issues on the front end. Let's go ahead and get that out the way. So, Debbie, you can't hear me or him. It did sound a little low, right? If you can increase the volume a little bit for me. Okay, she said she got it.
Is that better?
Okay.
Is that better?
Cool.
Okay, cool.
All right, cool. So, because I don't want y'all to miss any of this, right? I don't want y'all to miss any of this. So, welcome to the Light Room, Ray. Welcome to the Light Room.
What's up? What's going on?
Okay, good. Okay, cousin, thank you. I'm so happy that you're able to be here. I'm glad you're willing and able. Listen, when I seen that you created that space, oh man, my heart just smiled, right? My heart just smiled. I'm like, yes. Especially, in Memphis. I love Memphis. Like Memphis got a heart space. I did a lot of growing. A lot of life changes happened for me in Memphis. So I love me some Memphis. And I know that there's a growing need. This man in this blue. That's right. Come on with the Memphis heart. There's a growing need for the services that you're building, you're cultivating right there in the city of Memphis. So number one, thank you and your team for creating this space, this safe space, this growing space for our brothers, right? And I don't know if you watched a couple of videos or not, but the way that things happen, the way I explained in the message earlier, I'm going to introduce you the way that I know you, and then I'll give you the opportunity to introduce yourself. You can tell them whatever you want to tell them about who you are and how we're going to get things started. And then we'll go from there, right? And listen, y'all, if y'all have questions, I am reading the comments. Again, if he says something good, go ahead and drop fire in the chat, right? Go ahead and drop a green heart and go ahead and react. All right. So I know Ray, again, because we were both members of New Direction Christian Church. Shout out to Dr. Stacy Spencer and the best youth pastor in the land, Pastor Gerard Gunter, right? Like Pastor Gerard. So that whole youth team, when we were there, Adrian, Therese, like Miss Stephanie, all of us, right? We were there. So that's how I know Ray. We were in the Bible study circle together. We were members of New Direction. We were teaching the youth about the love of God and the word of God. And so now look at us over here, right?
I know, right?
Look at us over here in the Light Room. And we're going, we're still from the heart of God, but we're expanding our reach, right? And still showing that love to other people. So that's how I know Ray. And so, Ray, you want to introduce yourself to the people?
Well, hello everybody. My name is Raymond Henderson. I am a barber. I'm a future life coach. I'm working to be. I'm almost done with my certification now, but I love what I do. My passion is for the people to be healed, the people to be just to be free in who they are, be free in what they are, and I really enjoy the space that we are creating. Have an organization called Help and Inspire Men, and we create an oasis for Black men to just be honest and be open and be safe, to be able to express yourself on how you feel, what you're feeling, with whatever the case may be. So often we do not have space for a lot of stuff. So we just thought it was important we create that space, and I have that space in my barbershop. So that's overall who I am and what I do.
The man said he's a barber. Not only he cutting hair, like he cutting, that hard shell off of the hearts of men, right? That's God right there.
Yes,
Cutting
yes,
that hard shell off the hearts of men, creating a space, a good space, a safe space for the men to come in there and get your haircut, get your outside cleaned up and your inside cleaned up at the same time. Love it. So if
yes.
before we get right into it, your volume for me is still just a tad bit low. And I want to make sure that you're coming across loud enough and
I'm still
clear.
low.
Yeah. So my headphones usually take away any audio issues. So I don't know. He's a mentor. Absolutely. Um, I don't know if you would need yours, if that would help, but like,
Now I do have mine on. I could try to take them off
okay,
if I need to, but well, I can speak up to where you can hear me loud. Okay, is it better now or is it still pretty low?
okay. Okay, they say they can hear you. I just want to make sure because sometimes like that good information be getting by people. I can't have that. I can't have that, right?
Yes,
Because
yes.
when I created this space, you sound better, speak up better. Okay, everything is clear now. Okay. All right, we good. Let's roll. So when I created this space, when God gave me the opportunity to just open up the platform, like I said, it was a young man, who died by suicide, and it was tough. I'm originally from a small town in Mississippi, so that's just not something we experience. And people were making statuses and posts and just trying to find a way to understand what they were feeling and all of that. And of course, my academic background is psychology, professional counseling, things like that. And that was how it started. And this is where we are at this point. But I know Black men, a lot of times, and I have a son, being a mother to a Black son gave me the inside scoop, right? The inside scoop to how sometimes I guess it's just a part of y'all nature where it's difficult to open up and vocalize how you really feel. Can you shed some light just from that place for us?
Well, I mean, as a man, we definitely we have this thing that's it's almost like it's built in, and I don't know why, especially in our culture, in the Black culture, we have this thing to where like the more you speak or the more you show expression or the more you show emotion, the weaker
Mm-hmm.
you are or the less you are. So trying to turn that around and trying to because it's always a thing of I want to be strong, I want to show myself strong, I want to show that I can handle it, I can do it, and built in us as men, I think that we go through a whole lot of the whole, just want to be strong, want to come off as strong, and so if you coming off as strong, you are less likely to share how you feel. You are less likely to express your emotion, and they get us in so much trouble. It get us in
Yeah.
so much trouble, mentally, emotionally, even sometimes physically. And so, growing up, having those things in our head and trying to hold up a macho exterior, if you will, and be able to operate in that. It's that's it's so false and it's so
Yeah,
toxic, and that's something that we are definitely working to help lead guys out of.
absolutely. Yeah. And it's tough, Again, I'm only able, even as a mother, I'm only able to observe just his male nature, his human nature. And sometimes, my heart just grieve because, I don't even know what to say, how to say, because there are some things that only another man can speak to in that space. And so again, that's why it's so awesome and so cool that you have created this space. Can you share with us what you're willing to share about your journey that makes this so impactful and so personal for you as a Black man?
Wow. Well, for me, Marquita, and thank you so much for this opportunity, Marquita. I think that this is amazing what you do. I take my hats off to you. Because right now in this moment, I take my hats off to you and what you're doing, and because it's purpose, right? It's purpose. It's a purpose why you're doing what you're doing, and the reason why I'm doing it, I think that at this intersection of my life, me really, I just turned 40 years old this past year, and I've been a barber and a realtor, most of, like, since I've been 18, 19 years old, and I've done that, and my passion has been people. But as I've matured, as I've grown, why I do what I do, because I wanted to create a space because I always felt different. I've always been different. I've always been a little different from the crowd. I never really fit in. It's so weird because, Marquita, I've always been able to fit in different spaces, but it's never like a perfect fit. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, I can go over here and fit. I can go over here and fit. I can go over here and fit, but it's never been like that perfect space. So I've always kind of been an outcast. So I wanted to create a space for other guys that feel like me. You never quite all the way fit in certain
Mm-hmm.
spaces. You never quite all the way. You never say all the right things in those spaces all the time, and so you may feel like you're an outcast. And I just wanted to make a space to where every Black man matter. I always say this, Marquita. For me, it's about, we as Black men. I think we do a hell of a job um, talking about our differences. We can sit down all day and talk about how we're different, how you do this, man, you do that. But
Mm-hmm.
I think it's about us finding our
Yeah.
commonalities. And that's why I do what I do. I want us to find our commonalities, no matter who we are, no matter what lifestyle we live, no matter what section of the world we're in, no matter what socioeconomic background we come from. We are Black men, and we have
Yeah.
to learn to unite. Have to learn to unite. So that's why I do what I do, Marquita. It's because for me personally, it hit home because I was just a different kid, and a different kid grew up to be a different teenager, and a
Yeah.
different teenager grew up to be a different grown man. So here I am right now.
Wow. Wow. Well, thank you for growing up, right? What the post I made the other day, when you were a boy, you did boyish things, and then when you became a man, you put those things away. And this is what it looks like to walk into that space of being a man. So I do have a question that I want to throw in here from the comment section. And I think it's a very important question because, and I'm just gonna say this, like where I live is interracial a bit, but it's heavily Hispanic, um, and of course military. But when I go out with the work that I do, I get to see families a lot. I get to see families every day, and when I see families of other color, of the other of our counterparts, I say it that way. When I see our counterpart families out there together, you know, building a life together, I ain't got a jealous bone in my body. That's first of all. But it definitely grieves my heart that we can't even sit in the same space with each other, the Black man and the Black woman, right? It's
Yeah.
always a competition, it's always something. So this question says, as a woman, what are some things we can do to support the men we care about in our lives? Any suggestions about that?
As a woman that you can do is to support the men in your lives. We now, is she speaking of her child, or is she speaking of a partner, or just is whatever the case? Well, I can speak to both of them. As a man, some things that you can do to really be there and stand is to affirm us. Like we love affirmation. We love affirmation. We go out all day. We work hard. A lot of time we come home. We don't really want to do too much, say too much. But if you just say, baby, I love you.
Yeah.
baby, you the best.
Yeah.
You know, just as those affirmations. It may seem like it's small, but even your children, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of time, because I grew up, my dad been dead all my life. I have a wonderful stepfather now, but I grew up in the house with my mom and my sisters. And so, um, I had chores. I had things you had to cut the grass, all those things, but it did me some good to hear them just say good job. It did me
Yeah.
some good to hear them say, Raymond, you did good. Raymond, you good. You know, because a lot of times I mean, because of life, you know, you just get lost, and the mother or the woman get lost in just having to do so much. And I get it. But looking back and just complimenting that young man and letting him know, you know, it's okay to be,
Absolutely.
yeah, it's okay to be able to be who you are and still do well.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. Those words of affirmation, and they do mean a lot. To hear a good job, to hear I love you. Yes, they do. So thank you for that question, and thank you for that response. And again, especially to mothers, if you are a single woman who's a mother, because that whole single parent thing, right? If you're a single woman who's also a mother, especially of a black son, and this not to discredit anything with daughters, but this is
Absolutely.
the foundational place. This is where you build this black man up from your house before he goes
Hmm.
to anybody else's house. And so not even in a moment of perfection, but a lot of prayer, okay? A
Yes.
lot of prayer and support,
Yes.
even from the church community. You know, I thank God for the level of consciousness that He gave me through my parenting phase with my son, because I knew one day this little boy was going to be a man, and I wanted to make sure at the root, right, he had power words that he could always pull from this woman as a safe space, before he go out and meet any other woman in this world. So, ladies, affirm them, and you can get the practice by affirming your sons, your brothers. I love my brothers, all of my brothers, right? And I love checking in on them and telling them, how wonderful I think they are, speaking life into them, because I know it's necessary. I know it's
Yes.
necessary. Oh man, they got the questions for you. I I
I'm
may have to do you from
ready.
the questions, man. So, and I think this is a good one too. How do we really tell our black boys that they don't have to fit in every circle that's out there, even the popular circle?
Wow. Wow.
Okay.
Wow. How do we tell our black boys they don't have to fit in? That also to me goes back to the affirming them, whatever they are into, and watch them, and just watch them. When I say watch them, look at their patterns, look at what they are into, look at what they like to do,
Hmm.
and push them in that. And when I say push them in that, ask them questions about it, and just be inquisitive about what they are doing, and let them know, hey, dude, you could be the best whatever this
Yeah.
is. You can do the best of whatever this is, and push them in that. And a lot of times in my sessions, I talk about self-awareness. And I promise you, even as a young man, being aware of self, if that young man, let's just say, if your son is into video games, right? He know how he think about video games. He know how he feel about video games. He know all the code. He know everything he feel about video games. If you was to send him into a room of another 100 boys that that's into video games as well, if he can go in that room, talk to everybody, get everybody else's opinions, get everybody else's stance on it, and still be able to stand on what he feel and how he feel about it, that's
Yeah.
self-awareness. And self-aware, if he's aware of self, that will really cut down a lot of the fitting in. It will cut down on a whole lot of the, I need to be like the crowd, I need to
Hmm.
be hard like everybody else. It really will.
Man,
It really will.
that's good, right? Man, that's good. I don't know if I can tap the screen. I want to mess nothing up, but I'm giving hearts over here, because that's good stuff. And so, in that same space, because you've had a few sessions, and I know confidentiality is vital, without making anybody that you've spoken to feel some type of way. Like, what are some things you can share with us that you've heard from the men that you've had in your space that speaks to them needing the self-aware, the affirmation, or them being self-aware or not?
Gosh, some of the things that I've heard in our space, I'm gonna tell y'all something. A lot of times we are performative as men. We're so performative, and the reason why we're performative because we feel inadequate. We feel inadequate because we're not like other people, and so a lot of men have been so performative, and a lot of times we've heard so many stories of men trying to fit in and having to put on masks. We walk out the door every morning. A lot of times we have to put on masks, and they put on masks, and sometimes you get lost in
Yeah,
those masks. You get lost in those masks, and you get lost in the whole performative piece. You got to perform in whatever crowd you show up in, and so Marquita, it's so important. We've seen so many guys, just and what we do at Help and Inspire Men. I'm a Christian. I am, but it's not a church, and we try to steer away from that whole aspect because we don't want nobody to try to hide behind religion,
mm-hmm.
hide behind, hide behind what they feel like they should know, man. Like, we want to talk to you, and in that space, we've seen a lot of masks come off.
Wow.
And it was like, damn, man, I really didn't know I was really wearing a mask like that. I really didn't know that I had about 3, 4, 5 masks, and sometimes I forget what mask to put on, Marquita. We hear a whole lot of that in the space, a whole lot of that, because we're so performative. As Black men, we're over sexualized. We're expected to be the mandingo that got the biggest, what, and be able to perform the most with cars, the biggest
Yeah,
rims, the most girls. We are expected all these things. We
that's a
have an
lot.
expectation on us, and it's like, gosh. I will share this just real quick. One day we was in a barbershop, we were talking, and we were just saying all the things a Black man cannot do in order that he's looked at as a man. You can't answer a text message with just K. You can't ride in the car and hold your hand up like this. It's so many
Yeah,
things
yeah,
that we discuss in the sessions that really has been detrimental to the downfall of us. But what we want to do is put the stopper in the bathtub, right? Want to put this so so everything about us can stop draining out and we can build up, Marquita. Yeah.
I wish I was a fly on the wall in the barbershop. At least one session, just at least
Yes,
one session. Then I
yes,
give everybody a hug.
yes, yes,
But man, thank you for sharing it, and thank you for sharing those truths. And again, that's why, in this space, and it's just so appropriate that it's the end of Black History Month, the nationally celebrated Black History Month. The struggle is still real for us, for the Black man, and their leadership is necessary. Their leadership is still necessary. Their presence is still necessary. And I just want to make sure that they can hear us say, we need you, you're necessary, and we love you. So
yes.
again, thank y'all for what you do, and thank you for creating that space with them. Uh, Another question says, do you practice self-care as a Black man? Can you provide us with a couple examples that we can possibly share to other men about
Oh,
self-care?
absolutely. I do practice self-care. I'm in my home now. If I went upstairs, I'll show y'all. In my closet, I actually created an altar, and where I pray, I read in there, but I also do yoga. I do
Yeah,
yoga, and I meditate as well. I get up I'm getting up in the morning at 5:30. I'll be at the gym at 6 o'clock. That's my routine. I make sure I take time for me. And I'm gonna tell y'all something. This is real I'm about to be really transparent. I uh, I do all of that. I do all of those things, Marquita, and I occasionally still deal with anxiety. And I literally I just went to the doctor last month for a physical, and my numbers checked out good. Everything came out great. Everything, my blood pressure, my liver, lungs, kidneys, everything is good. But I did not tell the doctor that I periodically have anxiety issues, and
mm-hmm.
uh, and so about a week ago, uh, I literally had about 3 panic attacks, and just randomly. I had on 3 different days. And so this past Friday, I called my doctor. I said, "Man, I know I didn't tell you about what had been happening and going on." And I went today, and he started me today on anxiety medicine. You know, I didn't want to do it because I told him. He was like, "Why you didn't say that?" I said, "No, I'm a man, man. I just wanted to be tough, man. I can tough it
Yeah.
out. I can deal with
Yeah.
it, you know." But I'm telling y'all, if I had not been doing all the self-care I have been doing, the meditating, the praying, the yoga, if I have not been doing all of that, you know, I probably would have had more. But and he got me on some as needed. He got me on medicine as needed. So whenever those moments do come up when I need it, I can take it. But those self-care tools, I'm telling y'all, me going to the doctor today to talk to him about my anxiety. That was me and my self care. And for
Yeah.
Black men, we sit and we have pains. We deal with so much, and we do not go to the doctor until the very last minute. The very last minute, you know, for real. So yeah, those are my self care tools.
Wow. Come on, man. Real, raw, relatable, you know, and thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing that, because even though I do the work that I do, a part of the reason I do it is because of my own personal, you know, battles with anxiety and depression. You know what I'm
Wow,
saying?
wow,
Some days I'm up here and other days I ain't even trying to go outside,
yeah,
you know, and in the midst of right now, grief has been added to the plate for me.
yeah.
So, you know, very mindful, very cautious, and, you know, medication. I tried to get away from it a couple years
I
ago, but hey,
know,
it's back
I
around.
know,
And
I
so now
know,
I'm like,
I
you know
know,
what? Give me the medicine.
I know, I
Just
know.
give me the medicine, because it takes over your life and it's so unexpected. Pastor Broom, who has been in the light room as well, posted today. And this was and the other thing is, sometimes the anxiety isn't always due to stress or some type of mental illness or disorder.
Oh,
He had COVID 3 years ago, and one of
wow,
his long-term, what's the word, symptoms of having COVID is he has panic attacks, like out of
wow,
nowhere, you know,
wow.
and it could happen to anybody
Yes,
at any time, anywhere. I remember the first time I had a panic attack, I just knew I was dying. Like,
I
this it.
know it. I know it,
Like,
right?
I'm glad the burial paid. I'm sorry, mama. Like, somebody got to raise my baby. Like, this is it for me.
Yes,
And
yes,
it literally feels like death. But those self-care tools, like you said, are important. It don't have to be this or that. It could
right.
be and, it could be
Be
all. You
and
could do the yoga, you can pray, and you can have a therapist, and you can take your medicine, and you can have
yes,
what, Jesus and a
yes,
therapist,
yes,
you
yes.
know.
And I'm gonna tell you something, Marquita. This is something I'm learning, and shout out to my instructor Kelly Harris for trauma informed life coaching. This life coaching course I'm taking is truly changing my life. And something she said yesterday, she said the body keeps the
That's
score. I don't care
it.
I
That's
don't care
it.
what you think you got going on. You telling yourself in your mind, I'm good, I'm fine, I can tough it out, I can keep going, but your body gonna keep the score. It's gonna keep the score.
Yeah.
And so, like you just said, it doesn't have to be anything in particular. See, I thought I had thyroid issues or something. I wanted him to check, my doctor to check everything last month, just make sure all of my numbers and levels are good. And none of that was wrong. It was just
Mhm.
me stressing out periodically,
Yeah,
me getting in my head periodically. That stuff, it matters, and the body definitely keeps the score. It does.
it does. Man, it does. What has been that's a book, y'all. Look,
It is.
I don't even remember
It
who wrote
is.
it. That's a book. So you can
I
audio, you
got
can
it.
get it on audio
Yep.
book,
Yep. I
or
got
you
it
can
wrote
get the
down.
hard copy, Walmart, Amazon, wherever books are
Ye-
sold, right?
Yes. Yes.
But it's definitely in my library of
Be-
books because
it's
it's
by
important.
Bessel van der Kolk. Yeah. Bessel van der Kolk. The body
The
keeps the score. Yeah.
body keeps the score, and there's a workbook to it, y'all. Listen, for our community, for our culture, some of this stuff is like generational. Some of it is like vicarious, which means it happened in your family line. You didn't directly experience it, but you saw it, you heard about it, you know. And so even in that, like, your body can respond to stuff that you heard happen to your cousin, or heard, or something that happened to your father, who you may have met, may not have met. So we have to have the conversation. We have to continue to heal so that we can create these types of safe spaces for one another. Because listen, the Lord knows I love the black man, okay?
Yeah.
I love the black man. Ain't nothing against no other man in no other way, but
I got
I adore the black man, and I want us to adore one another. And so a question I saw on here in regards to that. So how can we get our black men to stand up and stand tall and really appreciate the black woman, be the man God made them to be? Ooh, even that sounds like a lot of pressure, but I'm gonna let you answer it because
I got it. No, I got it. I got it. I'm gonna tell you something, woman. Ladies, women, listen up. Hear me, good women. We only do what you allow. We only do what you allow. And I'm gonna tell you I'm gonna tell you what I mean when I say that. If y'all could be on a fly on the wall, and a lot of my him sessions, so many decisions that are made by black men are because the woman said it, or because they want to impress a woman. Just yesterday, in the session we had yesterday, we talked about how the women love like the harder, rough, like rough around the edge thug guys, and the women have been attracted to that, and so a lot of guys try and conform in those ways to those women. You guys, listen. We do not do what you guys do not allow. How you, and this might sound so cliche, but how you put us in check or get us in order is you stand on your values, you stand on your morals. You don't allow certain behaviors. You don't allow certain things to be done. You don't allow certain things to be said, and not in a rude way, but I think if you show your assertiveness as a woman, you show your boundaries as a woman. If a man see that, he gonna know what he can get away with and cannot. And yes, and I'm not, nobody knows who was in the session yesterday, but and I've heard this more than one time. I've heard men say this, right? I can walk in a room, I can walk in a party. It could be 50 women in there. I can point out all of the women. I can point out the ones I can get and take home right now. I can point out the women I got to buy like 3 drinks, then I can take her home. And I can point out the ones who ain't going. And guys, we got that because we are hunters by nature. You know what I'm saying? And it's on y'all at that point to hold us to a standard. It's on you to hold us to your boundaries, what you will and won't accept. For real.
that's good and that's true. Um, and I'm glad you said it like that because there definitely has to be a responsibility for both sides, accountability and responsibility for both sides. And I think that's one of the key and intricate pieces that we've kind of pushed under the rug that's kind of been missing, the accountability for both parties. People will do to you what you allow them to do, and that includes the man who says he like you and the woman too. And we have to that whole self-care and alone time that successfully single stage or whatever you need to do to get yourself together, like that's what happens in that space where you grow to be accountable for yourself. My last relationship ain't take long. That was probably the biggest lesson I got from that. Like, if you say you're gonna do something, do just that.
Yes.
If you say something doesn't work for you, make sure it doesn't work for you, because the
Yes.
minute you overstep your boundaries or downplay your boundaries, it's like an open door.
Open door.
It's like
Open door.
an
It's
open
coming.
door, and they're
It's
gonna
coming.
flip through there,
Yes. Yes.
flip through there.
Yes.
So let me make sure. Okay, so I put the name of the book in there. The Body Keeps Score. Um, what are some, if you had to give 3 words of wisdom, right, to a black man who is listening to this live right now,
Okay.
who was afraid to, like, who didn't know how to transition into this space of like being vulnerable or coming around other men and being vulnerable, what would you share with them?
Man, wow. What would I share with a guy who didn't know how to be vulnerable? Uh, I would seriously tell you, if the guy was right here with me right now, I go look at you and tell you, bro, You can breathe. You can breathe. You can breathe because a lot of times we have so much. We don't even realize how much pressure we stand behind, Marquita. We don't even know how much pressure that we allow to be built up in our chest. And I can just tell the black man, just breathe, bro. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. Just breathe, man. Because a lot of times we sit and we have all these facades that we have that we're holding up, and most of the time we ain't holding them up for nothing. We holding them up for nothing. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So just breathing and understanding it, man. Do you know who you are? Do you know who you are? And if you know who you are, man, how are you allowing the world to see who you are? I don't know if anybody on this live follow me or see me, but after every video I I post, I say the world needs to see it. Black man, the world needs to see your vulnerability. The it somebody in your life is somebody's life is depending on your
Mm-hmm.
vulnerability, whether you
Mm-hmm.
know it or not. Your child, your mother, your father, your coworker, somebody in your life is depending on seeing you be vulnerable, man, and not have to hold up this tough, rough, false exterior all the time, man. That's real, for real.
Absolutely. Man, that's good. Man, you I've been trying to keep my emotions together
Yeah,
this whole time because there's just a special place in my heart, and again, nothing against anybody anywhere, but I'm a mother of a black man. I have
yes,
brothers who are black men. My father was a black man, and I know, I can see, I can hear. It's just sometimes my voice is too light for it. So that's why I say I'm elated that you have created this space, you and your team, a deeper voice, that says, brother, you can breathe. You know what I'm
yes,
saying? Just
yes.
like there's really power in there. I remember when I first moved out here, I met this black man, and just listening to his story, and you can hear the trauma, you can hear the aggression. He had served time and all that kind of stuff. And I called him a beautiful black man. It took everything in him not to cry,
Wow.
out there in that space. But I just knew in that moment, none of the technical stuff mattered. That moment, that brother needed to hear that he was a beautiful black man,
And
and he just, you know, that's what it takes. That's what it takes.
and
So
and,
let me
and
make sure. Mike, got Mike in the house. The people are asking, Ray,
mhm.
how can they get in touch? Like, how can mothers, aunties, sisters send young men into this space to be supported?
So the name of the group is Helping Inspire Men. You can go to our Instagram at Helping Inspire Men, or you can find us on Facebook at Helping Inspire Men. And you can contact us. You can inbox me. My name is Raymond Henderson, and I can give you my contact information, and I will let you know when we do have sessions. And right now, we're trying to, we're really getting in a lot of community work. We just did a college fair this past Friday. The week before that, we fed homeless people with St. Paul Baptist Church down in Whitehaven. But we're really trying to dig our foot in the community. But we still have sessions. We have sessions, and we are constructing now a mentor program for teen boys. And we're constructing this. So definitely, this is if you're on Instagram, at me at Helping Inspire Men, or Facebook Helping Inspire Men, and you can find me. My name is Raymond Henderson, and I'll be there, and I'll let you know, and I'll invite, and we are welcoming everybody. And when I say everybody, Marquita, I mean everybody. I think if one thing that sets us apart in this space, we try and make sure that there's no big I's and little U's, right? So if you're a pastor, or if you're a CEO, or you're somebody of a big standard, we ask that you leave that at the door. Leave
Mm,
leave
leave it at the
it
door.
leave it at the door. When you come in this room, you're a black man. For real, you are a black man like anybody else, and we don't have no big I's and little U's. And if I can be transparently honest, we really haven't had a whole lot of people like that come in because a lot of those guys feel like they have to be like formally invited and they have to be, no, man, bro. We're looking for just brothers. We're looking for brothers to come in for real, Marquita. And this chair I'm sitting in now, actually, we do something called a hot seat, and to see like a thug, a hardcore thug, and this is what we do in the hot seat. A man sit in the chair. Everybody in the room just go around and just say a word of affirmation to him and speak into his life. And when I tell y'all to see a hardcore thug affirm an openly gay man who wears high heels, he affirmed him, and vice versa. That openly gay man affirmed that thug, and they hug one another.
And
We don't see that. We don't see that normally in our community. You know what I'm saying? That's the stuff we do at Help and Inspire, man. Because we ain't got no judgment on anybody. We don't because we all are men, and we can sit all day, y'all. We can sit all day and talk about our differences and point fingers. And you should be this, you should be that, you should be this, you should be that. But at the end of the day, no, we are Black men. Let's talk about what we do have in common. And at the end of the day, we're more alike than we're not. Seriously.
yeah,
We are.
yeah.
We're more alike than we're not. Real talk. Real talk.
I'm gonna keep it together. I'm just listening.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, and again, because sometimes, on this side, I see the need, you see the need, and then, it's like, is it really that bad? Like, is it really that necessary? People not struggling that bad. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. The space that we have created is absolutely necessary. And I love that you said, man, leave the title at the door, because when you walk in this space, you're a Black man.
Yeah.
You are a black man, right? And that's how people get healed. That's how people, get the support that they need. So thank you for sharing what happens in the hot seat, because that's good stuff. That's what needs to happen.
Yes.
Black men only. Y'all stay out. He's gonna stay out of men's business. Yes, sir, coach. Man, I'm trying to listen. Like, this is so special to me. Like, this is so important to me. I came from Memphis. Like, working at the job center, I've had them sit in front of me trying to find careers with the barriers that they have, trying to find out who they are, with or without a job, and, putting the job stuff aside, because I'm like, I can't send you to an employer if your mind is not right and your heart is not right. So having to do a whole little counseling session with these Black men or young Black men, from South Memphis, North Memphis, all different parts of Memphis, who just want a better life. So I appreciate the work you're doing in Memphis, Tennessee. It's necessary, and around the world, because, one day the light room is going to light up this world, and all y'all going to be on the stage somewhere. And my goal here, Ray, is to let people know that there are people like you out here, right there in your city, right there on your phone. Like, some of these things, do you do virtual sessions? Is that the option? Is that possible?
Yes. We actually do. We'll set the camera up, and when we're in session, we'll have it going. We'll take questions from Zoom. We'll take questions from Facebook Live. Take questions from Instagram Live. So we definitely do it by camera as well.
Yeah. So, mamas, don't lose hope, right?
No.
Don't lose hope in your sons or your daughters. Don't lose hope in your nephews. It's hard, okay? And so, as much love as you can give. Like, love is a healing force all by itself. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Love, it really is that thing.
Yes.
And so, with love, people can be healed, people can be delivered, they can be supported. And even those who, serve and give out. So I'm glad you have self-care practices. And even I don't know if yours include a therapist, but even mine include a therapist.
Yes.
Who I'm gonna see Wednesday.
Mine definitely include a therapist.
Definitely
include a therapist.
Who I'm gonna see Wednesday.
And if I can add this, Marquita, I'm just telling the light room right now, just for everybody on there. Do not get lost in how you feel. Feelings come and feelings go. Feelings come, and I'm gonna say that again. Do not get lost in how you feel. You may feel this way today. You may feel down today. You may feel low today. Don't get lost in that.
Don't get lost.
Stand on your principles. Stand on your morals. And a lot of times, Marquita, we get so lost in how we feel, and we can go all down a rabbit hole on how we feel, and that feeling can only last a day, and you'll wake up tomorrow feeling totally different.
Yep.
So it's important that we do have therapists, we do have coaches, we do have people that we look to other than ourselves, because we don't have all the answers all the
This me throwing my that's me throwing my napkin at you. Since I can't throw my shoe, I'm just gonna throw my napkin at you. I'm excited. I am absolutely excited, and I'm grateful and appreciative of you coming into the light room, sharing your wisdom. I told y'all what was gonna happen, right? I told y'all what was gonna happen once he get in here, and I'm so glad that he's in here. And so it doesn't matter if you're in Memphis, Mississippi, San Antonio, Texas, Houston, Texas. There's a space, just like we're talking here now. If you want the support, if you need the support, it's right here. You can get it. Like, and he has shown you what it looks like to be in his presence, in his space. Like, just heal. Just take the steps. And again, therapy should always be a viable option for you. There are ways. She said she's throwing her shoe at you. Don't knock him out, Steve. Therapy should be an option as well. And I know, it's a tough conversation because therapy is kind of new for our community. But it's like he said, you'll get lost in your feelings. But that therapist can come through there and help you sort those things out so you don't get stuck, right? So you don't lose valuable relationships, cutting everybody off. And so you don't lose yourself, right? So you don't lose yourself, because there's a work for us to do. So any closing, you told us how to get in touch with you. His Instagram is at Helping Inspire Men, him, like H.I.M,
Yes.
him, at Helping Inspire Men. He's based out of Memphis, Tennessee, but he can get you in the virtual space, right? He's a barber and a realtor. You need a house and a haircut, he got you. Right? He got you. Anything else you want to add, share, give the people to take away from tonight?
I would just want to tell everybody.
Yes.
I want to tell everybody, Marquita, do not give up on you. I promise you, it's so many things that happens in life right now, and there's a lot that's happening in our world right now that have us in a frenzy. Like, God, what in the heck is going on? What is happening around us? But we have to stay centered. Silence the noise. Silence the noise. A lot of times, just to think about how from the time we wake up to the time we get home from work, how much we hear, how much we see on social media, how much we see in the streets, how much we see at work. We have to silence the noise. So at some point, turn the TVs off, turn the radios off, and go. I promise you, if it's nothing but 5 minutes, go in your closet, go somewhere in your home and just silence the noise so you can hear yourself, hear how you feel, hear how you think, and that will just aid in self-awareness. But the world needs to see it. The world needs to see the heal you. The world needs to see the heal you so you can go and help somebody else.
I'm so proud of you, Ray. I'm so proud. Look at you. PJ, look at Ray. Man, again, it is indeed a pleasure, from teaching Bible study to sharing these resources in the light room. Yes. It's a pleasure to see you again, even in the virtual space.
Yes, Marquita.
When I come back to Memphis, I'm gonna try to look you up, see if we can
find me.
Look,
when
Mike,
I come to Texas,
hit me up.
It ain't no Mike I know, is it?
Mike Mosby, in Memphis.
Yeah, my boy.
Yeah. So I was telling Mike, when I come to Memphis, like, round everybody up. Round everybody up.
Yeah.
So I'm proud of you. I appreciate it. You guys have his contact information. Like he said, you can inbox him. And then too, he's one man. He has a growing team. He can support where he can, be patient. And I know sometimes with our culture, everybody want it done right there. There are therapists. We had a therapist to put a resource in here, therapyforblackmen.org, right? That's a good place to start too. If you work a job and you have employee benefits, please check for the behavioral health benefit. It's paid for, it's covered. You can get a therapist for the insurance premium that you're already paying, right? You may have the employee assistance program where you get free sessions. Some jobs have unlimited sessions. Some have at least 6 sessions or 4 sessions that's free, and it's free to your children or anybody in your household, family members that you put on your benefits. So listen, maximize the resources, guys.
Yes.
It's here. It's there.
Yes.
Ray is there. All right, well, I don't even want, I'm gonna let you go. Let you go. Listen,
Good.
I've had a couple people that have to do a round 2. You might have to be a round 2
That's
up in this
fine.
light room.
That's fine. I promise you, that's
You
fine.
might have
That's fine.
to be a round 2 because I really want, I really want the Black men to be able to feel safe. I really want them to come out of hiding. I want them to take off the mask. I want them to know that they're supported. And I want us to know how to support them, right? As their mothers, as their sisters, as their significant others, even as their teammates, right? At work, just I want us to be able to support each other in our healing space and just showing love. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. Yes.
All right.
Thank you,
Well,
my friend.
I'm going to let you get to your night. You want to add something?
Well, I did. It's just something real
Add it.
quick. Because I know down here, a lot of us grew up in poverty, and we live in a lot of poverty-stricken communities. And I think a lot of times we underestimate the effects of the trauma that comes with poverty. And with that, there's so many effects that we have to deal with. That's like a whole nother level of it. But we cannot underestimate getting help.
Yeah.
We cannot underestimate getting help. And Marquita, you said it tonight. It's so many different avenues and like, but dude, you watching this, dude, get you a therapist for real. Get you a coach for real, because we need it. We're not too much. We're not too macho to where we can't have therapists and coaches for real. For real. That's it.
Because when you walk
That's
in
all I got.
that space, you're a Black man. You ain't
Yeah,
the CEO or the president. You're a Black
you're a
man.
black man. You're a black man for real. For real. Yeah.
Right, man. Well, thank you, sir, for being in the light room.
Yes.
Hopefully people can get into the space and get the support that you
Yes.
and your team
Please.
are providing.
Please.
May God bless the organization
Yes.
and grow, expound by leaps and
Yes.
bounds. And
Yes.
I'm
Thank you.
proud.
Thank you, my
I'm
queen. Love,
proud.
love you, sister.
Love
Love you.
you
For real.
too, sir.
All right.
Well, you
I'll
have a
talk
good
later.
night.
You too. All right.
All right. So I've been trying to like keep myself together, right? Because listen, when it comes from the Black man, when it comes from the man who's in the field doing the work, when it comes like even affirming what from here what I see and what I'm thinking, like just to know that we're on the right path, we're on the right track. Like, listen, guys, we're here for each other. There are resources for you, brother. So if they weren't able to get on tonight, send this live to your brother, send it to your cousin, your uncle, your nephew, your son, your pastor. Okay, like send it to whoever could use this resource. That's Raymond Henderson on Facebook. Helping Inspire Men is the name of his organization. Listen, it's so beautiful to see Black men healing, because I'm telling y'all, I see families every day, and I ain't a jealous bone in my body, but my heart gets grieved when I realize that sometimes we can't even sit in the same room with another brother, and it's just not fair. Like, there's such an advantage when we can sit down and we can do this thing together as a Black man and as a Black woman. Like, there's so much advantage to having healthier children, to having healthier lives for ourselves. Like, you live longer when you're married. Check the research. Check the research. You live longer when you're married, because men don't. They have a bad habit of not taking care of certain things. Guess what? Your wife got you. She'll remind you. She'll cook the food you need. And I'm gonna say this, and then I'm gonna, close us out. But my mama, with my daddy, my stepdaddy, y'all listen. If you don't know me, I have 3 daddies. Okay, 2 who are no longer on the earth, and then I have 1 left. But my daddy, Ivory Brown, right? He was older and he ate different from us. You know what I'm saying? So my mama cooked food for us, and she cooked the food that he needed for him. And that was just like, it was those small things, those simple things, the most beautiful things that I've seen happen. That's how you serve in marriage. That's how you take care of each other in marriage. So we can do it. It's been done. It should be done. I love y'all. I'm so proud of Ray. Shout out to New Direction Christian Church, Dr. Stacy Spencer, Pastor Gerard Gunter, the best youth pastor in the land, right? Um, and thank you to everybody that tuned into the Light Room. Right now we're bi-weekly, y'all. But I'm telling you, I'm itching a little bit. I don't know if the bi-weekly gonna work for me, but I'm gonna see. I'm gonna see how it go. Yes, Miss Kathy, it's so good to see you too. Well, see you comment. Miss you too. Like to my Memphis family. I love y'all. I miss y'all. Like I love Memphis. Y'all know how I feel about Memphis, but Memphis, right? They're your resource. You know, there are some great leaders in that city. There are some great men that I've had. Mike Mosby is another one. You know, football coach, I think it's Oak Haven. You know, you got a lot of music things going on down in Havana. Like, listen, get that mic. These black men are out here healing and serving in the city of Memphis, right? Mississippi, we got some down there too. I'm gonna get them. Look, Clayton Barksdale, he's been in the light room. You know what I'm saying? Mr. Kier Rimmer, he's been in the light room. There are men in these spaces that are creating safe spaces for other men to heal as they heal themselves. You know, you don't have to do this alone. You don't have to suffer in silence. You don't even have to suffer, right? Because there is support. I love y'all. Make sure you're eating well. Make sure you're resting, because we're going to talk about rest next month. I know some people say I'll sleep when I die. Listen, if you don't sleep, you go. All right. Okay. So I want to make sure you're resting while you're alive. It rejuvenates the body. I love y'all. To all my therapists that checked in tonight, thank you for the resources. Thank you for checking in and chiming in. Listen, it's some beautiful black women in Memphis who can serve you there and around the world too, right? Pametria Brown, you got Montoya Cowens. Listen, McGowan, listen, get those resources. Brandy Danielle, like Brandy, what's Brandy's last name? Dang it. I'll get it. Listen, Brandy Flynn, that's her name. Brandy Flynn, come on. There are some really great therapists right there in the city of Memphis who can serve you in Memphis, outside of Memphis. I love y'all. This has been Mental Health Monday. It's Black History Month. Listen, I don't know if y'all saw. Don't let our history get erased. Don't let our history get erased. I didn't see a whole lot of Black history stuff this year for the month, and that includes myself. You know, my bad. But we cannot, y'all, we cannot. Okay? So I love y'all. Pay attention. Good night.